President Trump said it took 2 days to get what he wanted from Mexico thanks to the tariff threat. 6,000 Mexican troops are now headed south to the Guatemalan border to slow migrants bound for the U.S. The plan to levy tariffs came to a halt after Mexico and the U.S. reached an agreement to curb illegal immigration. Still, critics question if the deal is actually new.
The New York Times wrote a story like I already made the deal. It's nonsense. We talked about it for months and months and months, and they wouldn't get there, and we just said, hey, look, if you don't get there, we're just going to have to charge you hundreds of billions of dollars in taxes.
Aside from the additional troops, Mexico will also require asylum seekers remain in the country while their claims are processed in the U.S. Trump hints a secret portion of the agreement has yet to be announced. Do you think the same strategy that President Trump used with Mexico will also work with China?
I hope so. I think all Americans hope that this strategy of holding these countries' feet to the fire and using American leverage. We clearly had leverage over Mexico, and that's how Trump scored a big victory.
Trump now expects a similar victory in China. The White House has imposed 25% tariffs on $250 billion of Chinese imports and plans to tax more. He's convinced it will result in a deal.
And you know what happens with tariffs? Companies will move out of Mexico, and they'll move out of China, and they'll come into the United States.
The president hopes to lock down a deal with China's President Xi at the G20 summit in Japan later this month.
I would be surprised if he didn't go. I think he's going. I haven't heard that he's not.
You never know with that government in Beijing what exactly their next move will be.
Let's say they decide to take that route, wait about 1.5 years for the next president. If President Trump doesn't win, what kind of impact will that have on our economy?
Look, there's no backing down here right now. I mean, the worst possible outcome of this trade dispute would be for the United States to back down, because then you're essentially you're giving in to a bully.
While we're still a couple weeks away from trade negotiations with China, the agreement with Mexico is not a done deal. It still needs approval from Mexico's legislative body. If it doesn't get the green light, you bet tariffs are back on the table. Ben Kennedy, CBN News, the White House.